Welcome to the Tribe Talk Show, live from Atlanta. On this show, you get real conversations, inspiring stories, entertainment, information that empowers, real talk. A safe space to learn and grow. Real sisterhood. Let's talk. Let's grow. Let's thrive together. Join the tribe. And now, here are your hosts, Tendai and Grace.
Hello, Tribe. Welcome to another episode of the Tribe Talk Show, and thank you so much for joining us. We hope you guys are having a wonderful summer. My name is Grace, your host, and with my beautiful co-host here, Tendai. How are you, dear?
I'm doing great. I'm so sad that summer is almost coming to an end.
I know, but you know what? This last month has been so hot that I'm almost ready for fall.
Yeah.
This summer was really hot.
Yeah, it was.
And it's everywhere, because everywhere we went to, we didn't get any break.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, and I don't like that it's been raining a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it
we
was
didn't
hot
feel
and
the-
it was raining.
Yeah, but we didn't feel the effect of the rain.
Yeah,
After it's
yeah.
rain, it becomes even more humid.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Anyway, guys, we have a fun-packed show for you guys. We're going to be joined by our guest, Nnamdi, who is from African Immigration Collective, to discuss what has been happening with the Africans in the diaspora and to discuss what they do with their initiative. But talking about that, have you been noticing the online war between Africans and African Americans?
I have, and it's really sad. It's sad because at the end of the day, we are brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
And it's just so sad that people are instigating things that aren't even real to propel all this. It makes me
Yeah.
really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the thing is, we don't even know the real reason behind it. I mean, there are few speculations.
Yes.
And the word on the street is that, August, in the month of August, that the Black American community were going to boycott all the African
African-
businesses. And, I saw a couple of videos on TikTok, on social media, that, speculated that there's a particular lady who got like a bad customer service at one of the hair salon,
Yeah.
and decided that all African businesses should be blamed for that. Why generalize?
Yeah, that's really sad, because I think every business that you go to, sometimes you can get a good service, you can get a bad service. It's not just African that are, that will give you a bad service. Some people have gone to, white people's establishments, you have a bad service. Does that mean you're going to boycott a whole race because of that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
I think it's really sad, and I think it stemmed from the Essence Festival. When at the Essence Festival, I understand that there was a jollof rice versus jambalaya,
Yeah, I
and
heard
they
that
thought that
too.
the Essence Festival was being taken over by the Africans. But if you're African American and watching this, please know that we see you guys as our cousins. We see you as the cousins. You know when you're home, you have the cousin that go to the city. You don't really see them, but you know that you're related to them.
Yeah.
That's the way we see you guys. So I have gone to the Essence Festival. In fact, I went last year with Shania. We had a good time. We don't see African Americans as like foreign. That's why we gravitate towards African American events, because we feel like
Yeah,
these
they're
are our
part
cousins.
of us.
Yeah.
And my even dynamic is even much more closer, because I'm married to an African American husband. I have all my in-laws, my beautiful aunties, cousins that adore me, that I adore. Actually, some of them are like the very fan of this show, and they've been very supportive. They're the first to watch each episode. So this is really sad.
Yeah.
And I hope whatever it is, that is something that both communities or can kind of like
Yeah.
weigh in more, and this is supposed to bring us. I'm hoping that this will bring us closer
Yeah.
than dividing us at the end
Yeah.
of the day.
And I also think people need to be aware that the system favors dividing people.
Yeah.
When you divide people, you can conquer them.
Yep.
Because I think we have also been contributing a lot to the Black community here in America. And I can remember when there was the Black Lives Matter protests, we were going,
Yep.
because it's not just whatever, something that happens in the black community, it's happening when the police see us. They're not seeing you as an African, they're just seeing you as a black person.
Yep.
So we have always, personally, I've always seen African Americans as a group that is a part of an extension of the Africans,
Yep.
and I've always viewed ourselves. So I think we need to be really careful. I honestly feel like this could be external forces planting these seeds into our communities,
I believe
so
it.
that they can divide and conquer. If you look at, even in South Africa, even if you look at Zimbabwe, you will see that external forces will come into your community and try to divide people by race, try to divide people by tribes, so that when you're
They
weak,
can
it's
penetrate.
easier for them to confuse you guys and to rule you. So I hope people are really watching this and just realizing that we are
not
better
worth it.
together.
We are better
We are
together.
really, really better together.
But the positive aspect is that, there has been a lot of Black Americans as well on social media condemning this action.
Yes,
They
yes.
are condemning it. I watched a lady and she was like narrating her experience. She worked at a beauty shop with all Africans, and she was narrating her experience on how they were treated so badly, insulted and all that, and still they were very accommodating. So hearing all these stories is bringing me hope.
Yeah.
A lot of people are coming out, so I don't think the boycott is actually going to stay.
I don't think so.
Think,
I don't think so.
I hope not.
I've seen people joking on social media that, are we supposed to boycott African women and African ladies as well?
I'm sure. What are my in-laws going to do with
I
me?
know, without you.
It's
Imagine
already
if Glenn's
too late
family
now.
decide to boycott you.
Well, it's already
Yeah.
too late. This
Yes.
is our community. This is our home.
Yeah. And also, I wanted to say to Africans, remember, we are in people's homes. Don't
Tell them.
start to provoke people and try to instigate hate. We are visitors here. And if you're a visitor in a certain place, you have to behave. You have to behave.
Yeah.
Let's not be the one that are instigating hate,
Yeah.
because we are just a minority. We are just small. If they decide to attack us, we're going to be outnumbered. So behave, guys. Let's not forget I think Africans are known for their hospitality. We are known for being accommodative. We are known for welcoming anyone in our homes. So if someone is ignorant enough, because I honestly think for people that have traveled, they know that Africans are very accommodative. I
Yes.
saw another guy on TikTok, and he's been to Nigeria, he's been to South Africa, and he was saying, I can't believe you guys are treating these guys this way, because when I go to their countries,
We
I'm
love
welcomed,
visitors.
and
Yes. They will
I'm
even treat you way better
than the
the
locals. So
locals.
I like when I see that, and I think sometimes it's just from an ignorance, because we're not here to take over. We are just trying to survive, and we are just
Yeah,
here
and look
to
at
feed our
what Ghana
families.
and few other African countries have done. They've given our Black Americans home
Yes,
in Africa.
in Africa,
They are
land.
encouraging them.
They're
You
encouraging
understand?
them
To
to come back
to
home.
come back home and that. So this isn't the time for division. This is the time that we need to get stronger together.
Yeah, and I think the external forces may be witnessing that, because there's that return. What is it
Yeah.
called? Year of
Year of
return.
return, yes.
A lot of African Americans have been going to Ghana, to Nigeria, to South Africa,
Yeah.
and they can be seeing that these people are uniting a little bit more than we like. So
Yeah,
let's
it's
just
possible.
instigate hate. It's possible, but guys, we are all one. We are
Yep,
all one.
We are. And our African American sisters and brothers, we love you.
Exactly.
We see you. We are part of you, and we ain't going nowhere. Coming up, we're going to be joined by Nnamdi, who's going to be sharing his insights on African Immigrant Collective with us, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, tribe. We are joined by Nnamdi, the founder of African Immigrant Collective, a non-profit organization based here in Diaspora. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Grace, for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you mind telling our viewer a little bit about your background?
Absolutely, yeah. So my name is Nnamdi Ihenacho. You see some people say Dr. Nnamdi Ihenacho. I like going by Nnamdi Ihenacho, but like I said, I'm founder of the African Immigrant Collective. It's an ecosystem, for African immigrants to thrive here in the United States, so we don't have to start from scratch. It's our goal is to create a systemized information. One of the issues we normally have, or we've seen in our community, is when we come, it's almost like you have to navigate the journey by yourself,
Yes.
and you don't have a place to go to answer questions. So if you're fortunate to have good people around you, it works out. But a lot of people, we've seen them struggle because they didn't have that support system. They don't have that, and there's no place to go to get answers to their questions. And that's why we started the African Immigrant Collective. That's what we try to do.
And it's funny you say that, because I actually saw someone talking about how Africans are known for gatekeeping information.
Yeah.
Have you seen that a lot in the community, where people don't want to share information with people for them to progress themselves?
Yeah, so I think that's a generational thing almost. And there's a generation of immigrants that got here and went through a certain kind of struggle. And so for them, and it's I think it's a cultural thing too, where I went through this, and so you have to go through it. I didn't have these resources, and so you have to figure it out yourself. And that was that. But I think this new era of immigrants, that are coming, we're more open to collaboration, and we want to, and so we're seeing that gatekeeping, yes, it existed, but we're trying to break down those walls. We're trying to shift that narrative and show that we're stronger together. We can do more when we come together. Yeah.
I like this because I think a lot of us made so much mistakes when we moved abroad.
Yes.
Because we had no idea.
Yes.
We're coming from a place
Especially
where there are no structures.
Yep.
Where
Yeah, they always say that whoever you meet or whoever who hosts you really determines your success here in the diaspora. Because if you're staying with somebody that don't really know anything, your journey is going to be very long.
Very long.
Yeah,
True.
yeah. So we're definitely glad that there is an organization for that. But before we dive into what you do, before you join us, we're talking about the Black American and African
Online world.
yeah, it's a total chaos because we don't even know. We had some sort of idea how this started, but what are your takes on this? Have you seen any of the videos? Have you experienced any of this?
Personally, I haven't experienced any of that. For us as a community, we've had very good relationship with our African American brothers, and so on our board, on our leadership team, we have people from the African American community, right? We have in our expat facilitators, we've welcomed them, and they've been so supportive of us. And I just, again, to lend my voice to the conversation, there's more that unites us than divides us.
Exactly.
And if we realize that and I was listening earlier, you mentioned that you see me before you hear me. So before you can tell I'm African, we all look the same. We're pretty much we're the same. If we go back far enough, you realize we're cousins. We're siblings. We're related. There's more we can do together, and so it's important that we don't lose focus of that. We don't lose focus of we're stronger together. We get more done when we can stand together. Our numbers are bigger when we stand together, and we're part of the fabric of this American system now. And so let's have dialogue instead of trying to further divide ourselves.
Exactly.
It's like you said, it's going to create more room for us to be conquered when we're divided.
I totally agree. And I just wanted to find out, what are your thoughts on African identity representation in the diaspora?
So our thoughts, and that's a very good question, because for Africans now, we've gone around this, generations of immigrants have done well solo. And so we go, you'd hear there's an African person, there's a Nigerian here that's director of something, new Red Lobster CEO, Nigerian, doing great. But what does that do for us? And so we have this, people know, okay, we're smart, we work hard, we're educated. But collectively, though, we're not a strong unit.
Yeah.
Right? If you look at allocation of resources, you look at, when it comes to maybe non-profit funding, when it comes to look at election cycles, how many town halls were called by politicians to talk about, Africans and what their needs are. Other immigrants groups get that privilege. We don't. We matched most of them numbers-wise. But we don't have that economic presence. And so that's something that needs to shift.
Yes.
And the shift will come when we start playing together, like on the same team, but not yeah, we can all go do this thing ourselves, but all you do is just do well for your family.
For your family.
But then
yeah.
the next person coming behind you will have to start again.
Start
Start
over.
again.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because this is this is also going on now. Like we had a community back in Minnesota whereby you see the Asian community, you see the other ethnicity, they have this uniform voice.
Yes.
And you know, you're right. When they go to the government, they tend to get funding way quicker,
Way quicker.
faster than we could approach. And this movement started just few years ago. And if you see what is being achieved in the African community within that time frame, you'll be like, what were we thinking
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
now? Why didn't we start this? And I'm glad that you know your organization is doing this. There's a lot of other organizations that are actually thinking in
Yes.
this regard. So that's really a good thing.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
would do a whole lot better collectively.
Collectively.
We're stronger together.
Yeah.
We are stronger together.
Yeah.
That's the
it's so
whole
unfortunate.
idea.
Sometimes, you know, we see each other as competitors. And that's what has really divided up till this moment. Like you and I might be having the same business.
Yeah.
And we can actually work together
Of
to,
course.
to push that business forward. But in the African community, for the most part, we see each other as competitors.
Competitors, yeah, I totally agree. But when you look at the Africans here in America, what challenges do you see them facing?
For us, I think there's so many challenges to face, depending on the stage you are in your journey.
In your journey.
For people who are just getting here, it's that culture shock. It's
Yeah.
understanding how to navigate a new system. You know, it's understanding, even though we all speak English. You know, when I landed, I started at Wilmington, North Carolina, and it's the South, it's the accent. They're like, okay,
Yeah.
I understand, but I don't understand. Yeah. So that's the first, issue you do it, and then we have to dealing with things like information, access to information. Those are common issues we deal with, and people have to navigate and figure things out for themselves or by themselves. And there's so many other barrage of issues, but that's really the foundation of it. Yeah.
it. And I know that immigration has been a big topic right now.
Yeah.
Is that also a challenge that you're seeing with many Africans?
Yes, and not even so much immigration, but knowledge of what to do, right? You said something important. You said when it's who you meet
Yep.
that kind of drives the direction you go.
Yep.
The first set of immigrants you meet, if their route was a certain way, you know how we are, we'll tell you this is the only way to do it.
Yep.
This is how you have to go about it. And because you're new, you don't want to offend your hosts, you take okay, I'll go that route. And so immigration, it's more about the lack of knowledge about the options that
The
people
options
have.
you have.
Yes, and that's something we try to make sure we do a series on immigration and have we have immigration lawyers who come and educate the people on these are the opportunities that we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Well, we have a lot to talk about, but we're going to take a short break and then we'll continue when we come back. We'll be right back.
Hi guys, welcome back. We are still joined by Nnamdi, and we just wanted to find out more about your organization. What exactly do you do with your organizations?
So we launched last year, May 24th, 2024, and we launched the non-profit with the objective of systemizing information. So we have our community as a place to come together. We say we are creating an ecosystem where Africans and African diaspora can thrive, where we don't have to start from scratch, and that's our goal. And we're trying to systemize access to information through our different programming. We're very, very program heavy, program and events heavy, and so there's always programming. We have our weekly workshops, we have monthly mixers, we have flagship events that we do again, with the sole purpose of just bringing people together, providing information, and then access to resources, and then a lot of networking as well.
So what type of resources can people get? What are some of the things that you focus on your platform?
We cover everything from immigration, knowing your options, learning the routes to take, to careers, how to choose a career if you're inclined to go into tech. We have our weekly expert series. We have people, different experts from different professions, come and educate people. You get to ask actual questions from people who are doing it. And so we're doing something every week. We have monthly mixers where that gives us that platform to do a lot of networking. And so now again, still trying to take off the barrier, so I don't have to. I can come and meet somebody who is in my field, who is doing what I do, and actually have real life conversations with them. And then when we do our bigger events, our flagship events, like we had our summit end of June, it gives us the platform to now we have breakout rooms targeting very specific areas. We have 12 different lanes, different verticals for people, depending on what your needs are. We try to connect you to resources and people in that space, so you're not really guessing. Yeah.
Now, is this just tailored towards the immigrants that are coming in, or does the first generation African, like our children, do they get to benefit from this? Are there resources for them as well?
Yes, we've expanded. So the name African Immigrant kind of makes it feel like we funneled ourselves into a lane, but it's the African diaspora. It's even extending to just Black immigrants in general. So we have people from the Caribbean population. Some of our leaders are from the Caribbean. So, like I said before, we have African Americans who are part of, and so we're serving beyond the immigrant population. So first generation, diaspora, all of them are welcome to be a part of what we're doing. We have youth initiatives, we have college outreach initiatives that we're driving. We're rolling out several programs for next year. We're launching, fellowship style programming that's catered to young people, college level people, to navigate that transition out of college and know what next steps to take. And just, it's a lot of initiatives that we're driving from that.
I'm so happy you mentioned that, because when you talked about it, I'm like, how can these children benefit from this? Because the mentorship is something that is becoming popular, and immigrant children, especially those first generation, they could use that heavily.
They could, because one thing and this was a conversation we had during the last summit. For those of us who came here, from directly from home, first generation, we've built this level of resilience, and we came with survival in mind, and we had the weight of our families and expectations that we carried coming here, and so we couldn't fumble. Our children were born into some level of comfort. They don't understand anything about green card or immigration or any of that, and so that struggle that formed us, they don't get to have that. And so they need an infrastructure to still pass down those values that have made us excel. And that's part of the things we're thinking about. Let's create something where our children you're not just hearing from your parents, you're seeing a community of people like your parents and you can tell, this is what I represent, or this is what our culture represents. And that's something that's big for us.
And I think that's a good thing, because I remember when I finished high school, it was very easy for my dad to call someone and say, oh, she's finished high school, she wants to get into this. And here we don't have, and I feel bad for our children, because we are not in our own environment where we can make calls to say, oh, my daughter wants to get into this, my son wants to get into this. So I think with the mentorships, if we can form those networks, because this country is all about network, it's all about who you know.
It is. And that's what you said is why we need to get stronger together. And then start kind of our own pseudo gentrification initiatives to why can't we buy up the blocks? Why can't we own malls where it's African driven? And so now the schools are owned by us, and I will know the principal, similar to what we do with church. Most, all the African churches that are here, it's easy to, it's a model that we can replicate on the economic side as well.
That's very true, because if you look at like the company that I work for, they have student graduate programs, and they have employee referral services. And a lot of people that are working in these companies, they can do that, and they can refer our children and create opportunities for them. So is it free to join your organization?
Yes, everything we do, it's free. It's a non-profit. We've thrived on the sustained by just generosity of our members who like what we're doing and donate to, and sponsorships, and we call for that. We need more sponsors. But we've made sure, we want to make sure there's no barrier to entry. You don't feel it's not an exclusive club. It's for us, by us. It's come and be a part of this. We're trying to shift the narrative. We're trying to start a different culture. We want to do something generations before us haven't done, and that is show that, hey, whether you're from Zimbabwe or South Africa, from Ghana, Nigeria, we can come together and we can actually be a strong force here in the United States, and hopefully it replicates and ripples into other places where, or, you know, Canada and the UK and Europe, where there's big numbers of us.
Yes.
We can make a difference, and that will end up trickling back home.
Yeah.
You know, if we become strong here, we'll actually have a more powerful voice, even in elections and leadership and those type of things.
Yeah, this is such a wonderful initiative.
Thank you.
And I know that a lot of our tribe, people will enjoy it now. You know, you hear that, you know, if you don't have to do it all by yourself, you
don't.
now we have resources, we have information. And talking about information, how can people reach you? Like, can people connect with you?
Easiest way to reach us, well, on social media, African Immigrant Collective, one word. You find us on Instagram. We're on LinkedIn, same name. We have, once you just get plugged in, those are the easiest ways. You can go on our website, africanimmigrantcollective.org, and you will also see ways to get involved. But that will also show you what we have going on.
Yeah.
But start with Instagram. We're very active on Instagram and on LinkedIn. I'll say go there, send us a DM. Somebody is always checking, and we'll ask any questions. I will get back to you.
And I know that you have an event coming up. Do you mind telling our viewers what that event is going to be and how they can be a part of it?
Yeah, so I talked about, we have our weekly professional workshop, our experts that happens every week, 12 o'clock Eastern time. It's virtual. Again, connect us and we'll give you that information. But the next big initiative we have coming up, and it's something we are very excited about, we have our advocacy summit coming up October 25th. And basically October 25th, the goal is to start introducing Africans into the concept of policy and getting involved in the politics, because it affects us. Immigration laws affect us. We need to get more involved. We need to play in the game. And so that's the goal. We are collaborating with other communities as well. We're talking to our Haitian, community to see if we can partner up to drive that initiative. But it's advocacy and policy driven. October 25th. Please mark your calendars. It's going to be exciting.
We're definitely going to be there.
Yeah,
Maybe we can have an episode there.
Yes,
Please, we would love to have you on. That would be great. We'd love to have you guys.
But that's all time we have for guys. We just want to thank Nnamdi for joining.
Thank you for
Remember
having me.
to join their website, follow them on social media. They're doing a great thing. And we will see you again next time. Thank you so much.